Oops. Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. Hope everybody is doing well. Yes, indeed. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Um, I want to talk a little bit more about this RICCO situation. I'm listening to a judge. Now, this is a judge. She has an Instagram page, Judge Faith Jenkins. She's a former Manhattan prosecutor. She's a TV host. And she's weighing in on this Diddy RICCO situation. She seems to think that they have not met the standard for the RICCO yet. But she said the case is still ongoing. But she said as of now, they did not meet the standard for the RICCO. That's the most heavy. That's the heaviest charge that Diddy has, is that racketeering charge. And she also said they did not meet their burden for sex trafficking yet. She said they met their burden that he has paid, prostitutes and stuff like that, but that's not enough to convict him as of yet. It's not enough. We just completed week 2 of testimony from the government witnesses. We're moving into week 3 of testimony. And she said as of yet, they have not met the burden of the RICCO. She said just because you get paid by Diddy doesn't mean that you're a part of a criminal organization. That's what she's saying. She said just because you're getting a paycheck from Diddy doesn't mean that you're a part of a criminal organization. She said they have not yet met their burden. And she said time is running out. She said, do they have enough time to meet their burden? We're going to see. Well, this is the judge. See, I'm going to let you guys hear what the judge is saying. I'm not a judge. This is what the judge is saying. They have not yet met the burden yet. And she says she's watching closely, and she's following this closely. And I guarantee you, if this was a bench trial, he should have went with a bench trial. Let's say if she was on that bench, she more than likely would find him. If the case was over today, she would find him not guilty on that RICCO and sex trafficking. Those are the heaviest charges. More than likely, he'll be found guilty on the gun charge. According to, oh, hold on. I see what they're doing. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta fix this. Okay. I had to put the troll monitor on to give my moderators a break. I had to put the troll monitor on. Okay, the troll monitor is set. Okay. The spamming is set now. I got it. I got the spammers YouTube unfolded. Y'all don't have to worry. Howard Cooper. Howard, I gotta make you I made you a moderator, Howard Cooper. Howard, made you a moderator. YouTube Unfold has been a moderator. That's Miss VS. She got another channel called Miss VS Speaks. At some point, she'll put her channel for you guys to subscribe to her. She'll put her channel in here at some point for you guys to subscribe to her. That's my homie right there. She understands this content creating, so she's with me on that. Oval Queen, let me see, Oval Queen, you want to be a moderator? Let's see, Oval Queen, add as a moderator. Shout out to Oval Queen. Oval Queen, you're a moderator. Okay. Okay, you said sure. Okay, I got you as a moderator. All right, so, but I do a lot to make sure that you guys can just enjoy the show. That's why I put the troll monitor on, so you guys don't have to keep blocking people. you could just sit back and we could just interact and you could just enjoy it like you usually do. Okay, so as of right now, they have to prove the Criminal Organization Act. There's a lot of parameters that they have to get to the jury. But here's the thing, though, I had said before. The jury might side with the government, though. This is dangerous because they're showing all this pattern of abuse. The jury might side with the government on this if it's a close call. If this a photo finish, if it's a real close call, they might side with the government. But according to this judge, they have not met their burden yet as far as the racketeering and sex trafficking. Now, I know you might think, well, did they cross state lines for that, right? They're successful, like she said, they have been successful in showing that he's an abuser. And he's the world's most the terriblest boyfriend. They have showed that he is, and he's not doubting that. He said he is terrible. He is an abuser. He is a drug abuser. He might be an asshole to work for, okay? But is he running a criminal organization? That's what they have to prove beyond reasonable doubt to the jury. They have to prove this before they rest their case. And time is ticking. Time is ticking because they have to get this case done at a certain time or this thing getting thrown out. Okay? That's why they have to get this done on time now. They have to get it done on time and they have to prove it. So, with that being said, let's listen to the judge.
They paint a pretty clear picture of the man, but in order for the government to win their case, they have to prove the machine. That's what RICCO requires, a criminal enterprise, not just bad behavior. The prosecution has shown Diddy as abusive, controlling, and violent. But to convict him of racketeering, their top charge, they need to prove an organized system, meaning a team around him helped him carry out crimes. They work toward a shared criminal goal. So far, the government has done a good job of laying out fear and violence and chaos, but that's not the full structure. And who is a part of this criminal enterprise? What did they do? How did it work? Was there a hierarchy? Were there different roles that people had? Because if the case stays focused on Diddy's worst moments as a man without evidence of the machine behind him, the most serious racketeering charges won't stick. What would help the prosecution now in the weeks going forward? Testimony where someone admits they helped him commit and carry out crimes, where there's clear evidence that he directed others, if there were defined roles within the group. All of these things go towards evidence of a criminal enterprise. Until then, the defense can keep saying he may have been out of control, he's not a saint, he's not your role model, but that does not make it a criminal enterprise that he ran. Week 2, I give the prosecution a B. They're building emotional momentum and laying out a disturbing pattern of abuse and control. But for RICCO, that's just step 1. The defense, I also give them a B. They haven't had to say much because, of course, the burden is all on the prosecution. Their best argument is still, this isn't organized crime, it's chaos.
Okay, you heard her there. Okay, that's coming from a judge. She really is a judge, folks. Okay, that's coming from a judge. So, and a lot of legal experts are saying the same thing. They say they have proved that he hired escorts for these free calls. They have proved the pattern of abuse, but they have to prove the criminal organization. And I'm not spreading lies. This is not my opinions. These are not my opinions. I'm going off of a legal expert here. I'm not a legal expert, so I have to refer to legal experts so we can understand certain things about the law. I know certain things about the law, but I still have to have a legal expert for you to hear it, so we can have that right there, because I'm not a legal expert. And I'm not spreading lies. And if you think I'm spreading lies, then you think I'm not. Hold up, how am I spreading lies? You can't put that on me, saying that I'm spreading lies. I'm going off of the RICCO because I've read it. I read the RICCO. Is it a criminal organization? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it a criminal organization? They have to prove this. I said the burden is very high on the government. They have the highest burden. Diddy doesn't have the highest burden. He could just keep his mouth shut. They don't even have to put on no witnesses. They could just rest their case after the government rests their case. They don't have the burden here. The government has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that he was running a criminal enterprise. Okay, just because you're paying somebody doesn't mean that they're part of a just because you're paying somebody a check doesn't mean that they're a part of a criminal enterprise. Okay, so let me just go. She went a little further here. Hold on. She said a quick note based on some of the questions since I can't respond to them all. In a case this big, opinions will vary. That's expected. But being on someone's payroll doesn't automatically make you part of a criminal enterprise. The law requires proof of coordination for a criminal purpose. Prostitution and sex trafficking are not the same. Let me repeat that. Prostitution and sex trafficking are not the same. Jose Baez said this too. Jose Baez said if that's all they got, him paying these people for free calls, that's not enough for a conviction. He said this. Jose Baez said this. So prostitution and sex trafficking are not the same. The government may prove a prostitution-related charge, but that's not the heart of this case. The RICCO how is this person still spamming? How is this person still spamming, man? And I hit them from the channel. Oh, they on it today, folks. They on it. Oh yes, they on it today. Let me continue. It says prostitution and sex trafficking are not the same. The government may prove a prostitution-related charge, but that's not the heart of this case. The RICO claim is what really carries weight. You hear that? The RICO claim is what really carries weight. She said, I was a Manhattan prosecutor, not federal, but I conferred with a former federal colleague I trust from New York since the case started. They agreed. Based on what has come out so far, this case hasn't yet met the bar for RICO. That said, the trial is ongoing. The government has made strong arguments and showed a pattern of abuse, but they still have work to do for the racketeering charge. Okay, that's what she's saying. They still have a little bit of work to do for the racketeering charge. And I agree. Based upon the definition of the RICO. It's not over yet. It's only, they just completed 2 weeks of testimony. They're going into week 3. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you haven't heard me cover cases before, I don't take sides. I'm just letting you know this. I do not take sides. I'm not taking Diddy's side. I'm not taking Cassie's side. I'm not taking the government side. I'm not taking the defense side. I'm just hearing the evidence. That's it. Okay? I'm just hearing the evidence. That's it. And I also refer to legal minds that's in the business to get my information. That's what I do. Okay? That's what I do. I go to them to get my information so that nobody is not going to be confused over here. But see, I'm not getting paid by nobody. Okay? I'm not getting paid to say bad things about them. Okay? I promise you this. I'm the 13th juror. Okay? I'm not, you could joke about it all you want because some people have. Hold on one second. I got to fix my audio. 1 second. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I had to put on my microphone. Yeah, I don't take sides here. I try to get to the bottom of this. I try to learn. The purposes of me watching these trials is to learn something. This is the first federal case that I have got a chance to go to in person, so I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. Oh yeah, the Tootsie Roll. I'm learning a lot, right? So I want to know the legal aspect of this, so I could know. So for the future, I will be well versed when it comes to this type of situation, because this is an unprecedented situation here that he's going through. It's unprecedented, but they don't got him yet. It's unprecedented, but I hate to say it, they do not have him yet. Um, See, the thing is, in my opinion, I feel like they do, but then I have to go to legal minds because they do this every day. I have to listen to them, as well. But I'm also in agreement with some legal opinions that's saying that the jury might side with the government here because of all this abuse. They might say, yeah, this was a criminal organization, so it's a dangerous case for him still. But that's why the defense in their closing arguments, they're going to have to hammer home that they didn't meet their burden and what reasonable doubt is. That's the only way I could see him. Well, here's the thing. There's certain things that he might still get convicted on those gun charges and the arson. So that's dangerous as well. The arson and the gun charges. I don't see how they're getting around those gun charges. I don't see that. However, the most serious cases, you said I only refer to him as Tootsie Roll now. Could you give me some reason why y'all call him Tootsie Roll? Is it because of that lawsuit? Somebody said his thing is like a Tootsie Roll. That's that what y'all talking about? That could explain why he wanted other people to have sex with her. It could explain that. Um, it could explain it. Like it's very complex with people bedrooms. You know, what I'm saying. I don't know. There's different things he could do if that he could put on a sleeve. Pause. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Pause. 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 But what I'm saying is right now, let me stay focused. Give me a second. See, y'all don't put the Tootsie Roll in there to throw me off. Y'all don't put a Tootsie Roll in there to throw me off now. Look at Celebrity laughing. Y'all throwing me off now. We not sitting here. The purpose, I promise you guys, the purpose of this live is not to talk about his dingaling. Okay? Y'all women up there talking about his dingaling. Okay, we don't know if that's true or not because it's a civil case. That's an allegation. Okay? It's an allegation. I mean, so what? He allegedly got a Tootsie Roll. That's pretty much all he need. You guys can sit there. I mean, I don't need to get graphic, but see, now y'all talking to a grown man now. I'm gonna get graphic. Y'all got to get graphic now. Y'all keep talking about this Tootsie Roll. Obviously, that's probably all he need because you guys can sit up there and pleasure yourself from here to Friday with just your hands. Okay, with just your hands, with just a little bit in there. So obviously, he don't need that much. Ashe. So let's continue. Y'all shouldn't have started. Y'all shouldn't have started with me. Y'all shouldn't have started because I'm sitting here talking about this RICCO, and y'all want to sit up here and talk about Tootsie Roll. That's all you need if you know how to work it. That's all you need. Yeah, we can't get into that no more now. It's just allegations. Okay? So that's it. Yeah, see, Tasha, see what I'm saying to you is, well, obviously that's probably if that's all he got to work, that's all he need. Because y'all hands work just fine. Y'all hands work just fine. It ain't got to go all down there. And y'all good. Okay? So that's it right there. So we can move on from the Tootsie Roll. Look, how do we get from the RICCO to the Tootsie Roll? This is crazy. Lord have mercy. I've been hearing this. Y'all said it in the last chat, but I was ignoring it. Y'all been saying it. But I said, I'm going to get y'all today. And look, can y'all please give me a like for having me have to address the Tootsie Roll, please? Can I get a like? Yeah, all you need is the roses, Palm. That's all you need. That's all you need. And that don't go all the way down there. Okay, so obviously If you know how to, if you got some motion in the ocean, you should be good. There you go. Look at all these messages being held for review. What are y'all doing? All these messages being held for review. Lord have mercy. Let's go back to the RICCO, please. So we're gonna listen one more time to what she's saying. And she works in the legal, you know what I'm saying? So let's listen.
They've painted a pretty clear picture of the man, but in order for the government to win their case, they have to prove the machine. That's what RICO requires, a criminal enterprise, not just bad behavior. The prosecution has shown Diddy as abusive, controlling, and violent, but to convict him of racketeering, their top charge, they need to prove an organized system, meaning a team around him helped him carry out crimes. They work toward a shared criminal goal. So far, the government has done a good job of laying out fear and violence and chaos, but that's not the full structure. And who is a part of this criminal enterprise? What did they do? How did it work? Was there a hierarchy? Were there different roles that people had? Because if the case stays focused on Diddy's worst moments as a man without evidence of the machine behind him, the most serious racketeering charges won't stick. What would help the prosecution now in the weeks going forward? Testimony that where someone admits they helped him commit and carry out crimes, where there's clear evidence that he directed others, if there were defined roles within the group. All of these things go towards evidence of a criminal enterprise. Until then, the defense can keep saying he may have been out of control, he's not a saint, he's not your role model, but that does not make it a criminal enterprise that he ran. Week 2, I give the prosecution a B. They're building emotional momentum and laying out a disturbing pattern of abuse and control. But for RICO, that's just step 1. The defense, I also give them a B. They haven't had to say much because, of course, the burden is all on the prosecution. Their best argument is still, this isn't organized crime, it's chaos. They paint a pretty clear picture of the man, but in order for the government to win their case, they have to.
So there you go. That's what she's saying. They still had work to do. They still, now that she said that I'm going to be listening for it, they have work to do. And it's not over yet. They're going into week 3 of testimony. And we're getting ready to hear from Capricorn Clark. So she might provide damning testimony. Okay. So we on the other side of the sea, so we could go on the other side now because she might provide some damaging testimony. Okay. She might provide some damaging testimony. You said the black screen is depressing. Well, go somewhere where you're not depressed. Go somewhere where you're not depressed. We're sitting here trying to get educated on what this RICO situation is about. Let's not stay focused now. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused, Ashe. Let's stay focused. Oh, yes. Let's stay focused. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's stay focused. Somebody said I'm spreading misinformation. No, I'm not. I'm having, see, that's one thing for me to say it, but I had a legal mind to say it. Oh, yes. I had a legal mind. I refer to legal people. Okay. I refer to legal people. Now, that doesn't mean the jury might think how we think, how I think. The jury might say, yeah, this is a criminal enterprise. Okay, because of all this violence, they might be siding with the government here. Okay. But they have to bring it home. They had teammates, working to do a criminal situation. You know what I'm saying? So somebody said, well, how come he's the only one sitting at that table? She said it's rare, but it's not unprecedented. That's what she said. It's very rare, but it's not unprecedented. We've seen it with R. Kelly. So it's kind of rare, but a lot of people have taken immunity deals. Okay, that's why they're not sitting at that table with him. But we have not heard from Capricorn yet, and we now haven't heard from Christina Coram. Okay, they might provide damaging testimony. And if Roger Bonds, I don't know if Roger Bonds going to take the stand. He might provide damaging testimony. So we don't know yet. We're going to have, it's still going. It's still going. It is rare, but it's not unusual. But it's happened before. So, but one thing I could tell you though, he has some really, really, really good attorneys sitting at that table. They're not going to let him get buffaloed around by the government. See, that's what people think. Oh, the government, ooh, they come and get you. Not if you got money. They're not going to buffalo you around if you got money. But half the population ain't got the money he has. That's why. They spend 10, 20 million on a defense. Jose Baez said, he said, if that's all they got is him hiring people for free calls, that's not enough to convict. He said this. You have to prove sex trafficking. Now, my, you know what my idea of sex trafficking is? Being a pimp. Was he pimping? Like, was he pimping? Like, was he, you know what I'm saying? Was he out there selling this service? I don't think they got him on it. Not yet. Not yet. And I'm being fair. Like, I'm not, this is not a channel where I'm gonna bash him. Or I'm gonna bash Cassie. I'm not bashing any one of them. I'm not judging them for being freaks. A lot of you sitting here listening right now are freaks. Somebody in here is a freak. I can feel it. Somebody. I can feel it right now. The spirit is telling me. Somebody in here would love to have a freak off. Ashe. Somebody in here would love to have a freak off. Ashe. I said somebody in here would love to have a freak off. Ashe. So stop playing with me. Because y'all sat up here and mentioned, y'all shouldn't have mentioned the Tootsie Roll to me. I'm sitting up here trying to figure out something legally, and y'all got to the Tootsie Roll. Y'all talking to the wrong one. Y'all talking to the wrong one. Okay? I didn't want to talk about no Tootsie Roll 9 o'clock this morning. I want to talk about the RICCO so we can learn something. Okay, so since y'all sit up there and open Pandora's box, I'm going to take you down Pandora's box now. I know I'm crazy. I know I am. You can tell. You can look at me and tell I'm crazy. You can look at me and tell. Yes, I'm crazy. Yes. Let me hold on. I don't mess it. This is messed up. He right. My camera not working. Nothing working, guys. It's just a black screen. Ashe. We just got a black screen over here. Ashe. Hold on. Let me come back. Ashe. Yes, you can look at me and tell I'm crazy. I'm up here early this morning. I treated my beard. I sure did. I use Just for Men. And if Just for Men want to sponsor me, and if Just for Men want to sponsor me, I'm here, baby. I'm here. So we going back to the black screen so he can be depressed. Talking about it's a black screen, he depressed. Talking about it's a black screen, he's depressed. Ashe. Y'all please stop. Y'all shouldn't open up the Tootsie Roll situation. I'm trying to get educated this morning, and y'all want to talk about his Johnson. Okay? I'm trying to get educated here. So we gonna listen to what the judge had to say again, because we gotta get off this Tootsie Roll situation.
Clear picture of the man, but in order for the government to win their case, they have to prove the machine. That's what RICCO requires, a criminal enterprise, not just bad behavior. The prosecution has shown Diddy as abusive, controlling, and violent, but to convict him of racketeering, their top charge, they need to prove an organized system, meaning a team around him helped him carry out crimes. They work toward a shared criminal goal. So far, the government has done a good job of laying out fear and violence and chaos, but that's not the full structure. And who is a part of this criminal enterprise? What did they do? How did it work? Was there a hierarchy? Were there different roles that people had? Because if the case stays focused on Diddy's worst moments as a man without evidence of the machine behind him, the most serious racketeering charges won't stick. What would help the prosecution now in the weeks going forward? Testimony where someone admits they helped him commit and carry out crimes, where there's clear evidence that he directed others, if there were defined roles within the group. All of these things go towards evidence of a criminal enterprise. Until then, the defense can keep saying he may have been out of control, he's not a saint, he's not your role model, but that does not make it a criminal enterprise that he ran. Week 2, I give the prosecution a B. They're building emotional momentum and laying out a disturbing pattern of abuse and control. But for RICCO, that's just step 1. The defense, I also give them a B. They haven't had to say much because, of course, the burden is all on the prosecution. Their best argument is still, this isn't organized crime, it's chaos.
She said the defense say that they can still say this is chaos. It's not organized crime. It's just chaos he was running. Okay. So right now the burden is still on the government. Have they proved this RICCO yet? They still have work to do. Like I said, I give it to them. We just completed week 2 of testimony. We're going into week 3 of testimony. Maybe Capricorn Clark will provide some damaging testimony. We have not heard from KK yet. We haven't heard from victim 2 yet, which is a Jane Doe. Maybe Roger Bonds might step up to the plate. We don't know yet. As it stands right now, I think they got him on the gun charge. They for sure got him on that. They for sure have him on that. But do they got him on anything else? We'll see. Now, like this one legal expert said, it's very, very close because they said in a close case like this, the government, the jury could side with the government because of all this abuse. So that's what I'm saying. Do they got him on this racketeering? Yes or no? According to the standard. Now somebody might say, well, this is a different type of RICCO. Yeah, but it still has to be a criminal organization though. It still has to be. Now, yeah, Roger Bonds would probably have a lot to say, but the defense is going to be like, well, you did a lot of interviews, haven't you? You did a lot of interviews, right? They're probably going to try to attack his credibility. Because see, here's my thing about Roger Bonds, right? Even though he decided to leave Puff because of all that abuse and stuff, he did. He went on to work in another part of his company. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm continuously seeing it, like he did leave, he did. Eventually, he said he couldn't do it no more, and he worked at another part of the company, like in corporate. In another part, he didn't do the bodyguarding no more because he couldn't handle it. Seeing all this abuse, this alleged abuse. Okay, so, but I do know that a lot of people want him to be put away. And let's say if he did beat this, let's say if he beat all the charges and come home, I feel like he's still not out of hot water. Because remember, they said this is still an active investigation going on. He cannot be charged with this RICCO no more because there's something called double jeopardy. So he would not be charged with this again. So this is a one and done for them. But there's no statute of limitations on murder. So if people feel like he was involved in some type of murder, they got to prove that too. Yeah, they got to prove it. You got to prove that he was involved. It's not enough for somebody to say he did it. It's not enough. You have to prove. I have to know he did. I can't take your word for it because you could be lying. You have to prove it. It don't always have to be a smoking gun. It's circumstantial. If the circumstantial evidence lead me to a conviction, then yes, I'm okay with that. Now you said, do I think Diddy will retaliate if he walks? I don't know Diddy like that. I can't say that. Now, you talking about Freddie P said that. He said that he could retaliate against people. He know him better than I do. I don't know Diddy like that. Oh, you did? Well, this is what I also feel YouTube unfolded. The government still be watching him. They'll be watching him like a clock. You think they got a file on him now? If he even sneezes wrong, they coming for him. I think this could be a life-changing situation for him. He could be, wanting to go in a different path, might be wanting to help people now. Because he still matters. I know people say they're not gonna mess with him no more, but no, he shouldn't mess with them. because he didn't have no support. I mean, he had Stevie J, he had Kanye, and a few others, but everybody else, or they might be supporting on the low, because if they support him if they support him in the media, they might come after them. So a lot of people might be supporting him on the low. We don't know. Yeah, they gonna always watch him. Listen, if he sneeze wrong, if he even sneeze wrong, they watching him. Now, is he out of the clear yet? No. No, Russell was in New York, YouTube. He was just recently seen in New York City. He come in, he come out, he come back and forth. But he don't live here. He go right back to Indonesia. He gonna have to do something. He gonna have to do some philanthropic work. He's gonna have to he's got to do some philanthropic work, because people are not gonna forget the woman, the beating stuff, because they haven't forgotten that with Chris Brown. Every now and then they'll drag Chris Brown through the mud. So people never forget that. Okay? People never forget that type of situation. They're never gonna forget it. So he can just do things, to help people at this point. But he still have to go through the civil trials. Yeah, he still have to go through the civil situation. So his legal situation is not far from over if he win this. So that's why people say, guys, he's gonna get convicted on something, but he might not get convicted on everything. But we have to be fair. I have to be fair. I have to be fair on both sides. We just completed week 2 of testimony from the government, and also the defense has not yet put on their case. Okay, you mean call their witnesses and stuff. However, we're going into week 3 of testimony. This is going to be the week where it might be really damaging. Okay, because Capricorn, like I said, I don't know what she's gonna say, because I think, didn't he like have a fight with her or something? He had to settle with her because he felt as though that she knew about Cassie and Kid Cudi relationship. So she caught the heat for it, and he had to settle with her. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, that's Stockholm. So that doctor that testified, she did a really good job educating us on why people stay in abusive relationships. I know what people are saying now. I know Choke said this. If she was with somebody that was broke, she wouldn't have stayed that long. That's not true. There's people that are in relationship for years and the man don't got money, that got the money Puff has, and it's an abusive relationship. That's not true. That's not true. I know people that was in an abusive relationship that he wasn't rich. They weren't rich. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm not on no side. I'm on justice. I want to see what this evidence is about. Okay. But here's the thing. If the jury go a different way, I'm still not going to say the jury got it wrong. The reason why I'm not going to say the jury got it wrong, because I'm not privy to all what they privy to. Okay. I'm not in the deliberation room with them and seeing what they're saying. So we have to go with the jury. The jury is the most important people. You said you had your homegirl staying with raggedy abusive men, and they didn't have no money. Yeah, it happens. You remember she left him after he professed his love for Kim Porter. Yeah, that was the bottom. I know she was like, I know this MF did. I know this MF for not playing in my face. Okay? I know this. Look, now y'all gonna get me in character. Now watch this. I know this MF ninja ain't playing in my face. I don't sat here and tooted it up for all these years. Okay? I don't toot it up for all these years so he can have some fun. Okay? I want some guarantees, goddammit. I want some. He didn't give me no guarantees. And then now he going around parading this Carisha around, giving her own show, getting her own show. Okay, and he couldn't give a sister nothing. Okay, but sitting up here, being on the receiving end of his gruant hand. Okay, getting foots up my ass, and he gonna sit up here and do this. He's sitting up here playing in my face. Oh, he gonna give a sister some money. Oh yes, I'm gonna write me a book. Here's the book. Give me some money. Okay. I ain't doing that. And he gonna have the nerve to tell me he ain't doing that. He ain't read the book. He's sitting up here taking me for a joke. I'm not the same girl that he met when he first met. I'm a grown ass woman now. I'm a whole grown ass woman. Okay? I'm a whole grown ass woman, and he gonna sit up here and play in my face on he ain't read the book, laughing at me. Okay, I want $20 million, bitch. No, 30 million. I want $30 million, bitch. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, here's the lawsuit. We sent you the demand letter. I want 30 million. Let's negotiate. Still didn't negotiate. Okay, now it's public. $20 million in 24 hours. Settled. Okay? Settled. And then people act shocked because she settled with the hotel. She should have sued the hotel with that old funky security guard with his funky self. Recording the thing and sending it home to his wife. She should have got 10 million from him. 30 million in the bag, bitch. So she got about, after taxes and after the lawyer fees, she got about $22 million. All she got to do is put that in an interest-bearing account. She got $1 million a year for the rest of her life. Stop playing with me. Stop. We're not playing. We're not playing over here. She said, you're not going to sit up here and play in a bitch face. You're not doing that. Okay? All I was to you, okay, since all I was to you was a sex worker, you're going to sit up here and pay me, bitch. You're going to sit up here and pay a sister. I'm not mad at her for getting the money. You're going to sit up here and play in my face, and they're going to have this little thing parading around. You're going to pay me some goddamn money. That was her mentality. You're going to pay me. You're going to pay me. Okay? You're going to pay me. Okay? You're going to pay me in advance. Don't say wow, Steven. I'm giving it to y'all real. I know why she wanted the money. Shit, I am not going to sit up here and struggle. I'm used to a certain lifestyle, and you're going to sit up here and pay me. That's what you're going to do. I couldn't even come to your little funky holiday parties either. I couldn't even come to your funky holiday parties at your house because you treat me like a jump off. I couldn't even do that. You had all the other hussies at the house, and I can't even come to the house. No, bitch, you're going to pay me. Okay? That's what happened. Okay, we're not playing no more, guys. Let's stop playing. That's why. And then we're not knocking her for getting the money. That's the least of Puff's concerns, is her getting the money. See, he underestimated her. She grew up right in front of his face. She grew up. Because when he met her, she was a youngster, and now she's a full grown ass woman. Okay? She's a full grown ass woman. You're not gonna sit up here and keep playing in my face now. Okay? I don't sit up here and had all type of freak offs. From here to Tuesday, we having freak offs. Okay, and that still couldn't satisfy you. You still couldn't give me no guarantees. Okay? You still couldn't give me no guarantees. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna give me some money. That's what you're going to do. You're gonna make sure a sister is set for life. Oh yes, she's a sister. Oh yes, she is. She's a sister. Stop sitting up here playing in my face talking about she ain't no sister. Stop playing in my face. She is a sister. You see how her mother was acting on that stand? Huh? Did you see how her mother was acting on that stand? Her mother wasn't afraid. The only reason why her mother paid that money because she was afraid for her daughter. She would have fought Puff if she could have. I know how these West Indian women act. Stop playing with me. I'm right now where I'm sitting at in my car right now. It's West Indian women all around me. I grew up with West Indian women. I grew up with Jamaican women. I know how these women from the islands act. They don't play. She wasn't afraid of him, but she was afraid for them videos coming out. That's why she paid him that $20,000, even though he sent it back. When her mother left that stand, she eyeballed him and he wouldn't look at her. What is that telling you? She eyeballed him when she was walking out. He did not look her way. And then she gave Tisa Tells a shout out. That woman's a sister. Stop playing with me. We come in all shapes and sizes. Talking about she mixed and all ambiguous bullshit. She got the mentality of a sister. When Cassie went on that stand, Cassie got sassy every now and then on that stand. She got sassy. Doing her neck and shit. She got sassy. That's a sister. I know she had Filipino. I know. But look, I dealt with Filipino women too. They got sister in them too. Don't think because they Filipino, don't think they could raise up on your ass. I know Filipino women. Okay? My niece is Filipino. My niece is. Okay? I know how they get down. They don't play. Filipino women don't play. So stop thinking that these foreign women, guys, you going on these foreign, because look, I'm running another channel. So y'all don't know I'm running another channel about these passport bros over there in Thailand. I was trying to be an OG and help these dudes out. Okay? But they don't listen to me. Because they think because I'm older, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? But this dude came in my chat and he's sitting up there trolling me, say, I don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't have a good experience and I had to pay. That's what he's saying. Oh, since you had to pay when you was on in time, I said, how you know I had to pay? And guess what happened to him? He got deleted. He got deleted in Colombia. And I'm sitting up here trying to help. I'm trying to help. But let me get back to it. What I'm trying to say is, don't think because these foreign women are foreign that they stupid. They not. And I know for a fact firsthand Filipino women not stupid. I know this. A woman is a woman wherever you go in the world. You ninjas just need to travel more. And then you'll know. Okay? I'm living off experience. Just like the Locks. Just like Jadakiss and them. I'm living off experience. I know. When that woman was sitting on that stand, not Cassie, her mother. That's the OG of Cassie. Her mother's the OG. She's sitting on that stand. She was looking at him the whole fucking time. And he wasn't looking at her. Okay? When she walked off that stand, she eyeballed him. He did not look at her. That woman wasn't ever scared of him. It's just that Cassie held this stuff from her. She would have went to the cops a long time ago, but Cassie held it from her. But she couldn't hold it no more because he got a little attitude, which I understand. I understand both sides. I know why he got attitude when she messed with Kid Cudi. His feelings was hurt. And he crashed out. He's still a human being at the end of the day. He crashed out. And then talking about, if you don't pay this money or else I'm going to do this. He was in his feelings. That's why he sent the money back. He didn't want that money. But he didn't know that she was really going to give it to him. Because she was afraid for her daughter. She took the pictures. Once she saw those bruises on Cassie, it was over for him. I promise you this. They were setting it up already. It was in motion already. It was in motion. I promise you this. I know how West Indian women is. They're not scared of nobody. It was in motion. And then the final straw, she even tried to support him at the very end. She went to the memorial. And he said, and she sat up there and said that it might have been she might have been his role, what do you call it? Soulmate. But sir, why don't you marry your soulmate? He should have got married and kept his crazy ass in the house. That's what he should have did. He wouldn't be in this situation. He still would have had to pay his sister though. Okay. He still got money, Pac, man. No, he still got money. He got money. Don't think he ain't got no money hidden nowhere. That man ain't stupid. He just crashed out. That's why he's here now. He crashed out. Okay? He can have all the girlfriends he want, but she can't have no man. She can't. But I suspect, guys, that the government know more. But it's just not in this case. They know something else on him. and he's not out of hot water yet with the government. Oh, look at Rachel. She said the final was when she had that new when he had that new baby. Yeah, I know. You mean to tell me I've been with you all this time? I'm trying to get because Cassie got emotional on the stand when she said all I wanted was his attention. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be with him. I wanted him to be with me, and she started crying. Right, the wives are exempt from testifying. That's right, Southern Breeze. But when I believe, yeah, you gonna sit up here and this is what you do. I know people say, "Well, she moved on, Max. She had a husband." It don't matter. She's still stuck in the past for all this that she had to do for him. This is look nothing new under the sun. Our grannies had to go through this with our funky ass grandfather. Some of them. I remember. I never forget it, yo. I never forget it. I was at my boy house, right? His grandparents, they no longer living, but they have been through a lot. They've been together almost 40 years, right? And he said to us, he said, yeah, his wife was sitting right in back and looking at him. He said, yeah, I said, what's the secret? Y'all been together so long. She kind of cut her eye at me and looked at him. He said, yeah, I put her through something now. I put mama through something. I used to run them streets, but I used to always come home to mama. She said, yeah, he used to drink too. She said this. She said, he put me through a lot. She said, the reason why we together is because of me. I held the family together. She said this. Okay. No, Diddy has never been married. So all of them could testify if they want to, because he's never been married. You said a spouse can testify, but they have a choice. Right, they can. But they have a choice not to. They exempt. That's what we learned in the Aaron Hernandez case because he wasn't married to Shayana Jenkins. So she had to testify against him. But they tried to get married, but they wouldn't let him. So we learned that way back in the Aaron Hernandez case. But I'm telling you, she said he gonna sit up there and play in my face. And then hold up, it wasn't over. Remember when the text messages when she had her when she was having her baby, he texted her. He said, "You're gonna be a great mother," And then he had the nerve to say to her sister, "I miss my bestie." Call her a bestie. That's the only title she could get is a bestie. I don't did all this to you. We don't shared all this. We did this. We don't went to all these dicks. And you're gonna sit up here and call me a bestie? Oh no. Oh no, honey. Oh no. Oh no, bitch. You're gonna sit up here and call me a bestie? He didn't even know he was messing up then. He didn't even know he was messing up then. I'm your bestie now? I'm gonna be a great mother. You always knew I'm gonna be a good mother. And you couldn't put nothing in this oven? And you gonna sit up here and call me a bestie? Yeah, I'm gonna get your money. Oh yes, I'm gonna get your money. Oh yeah. And shout out to Cassie, right? The lawyer was like, "Is it true that you were preparing for a tour?" She said, "Yes." Pat her hand on her stomach. Yes. And he said, "Is it true that you stopped the tour once you settled?" Objection, Your Honor. Overruled. Is it true? You can answer it. Is it true that you stopped the tour when you got your money? She said, "Yeah, because it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on." I love her. I love her. I love her because she is not weak. She's not a weak person. She got West Indian up in him. I could have told her. She got West Indian up in her. I could have told him. All this shit I did for this funky ass man, and he gonna sit up here and call me a bestie. That's what he gonna do. Rachel said to me, I never forget what Rachel said to me. She said, "Listen, because she always give her opinions on this case, and she's been right so far, and she has to let me know that she said it, that she was right, right?" I was like, "Yeah, you was right." She said, "Let me just tell you something real quick." I said, "Okay, Rachel." She said, "A woman, we need guarantees. We want a return on our investment. Okay, we want some type of title. We want something. Either you're gonna put a ring on it, or you're gonna keep us. We're not gonna be in the dark no more. You know, you ain't gonna keep us sister in the dark. You know, you're gonna let everybody know we together. Something. You got to give me some type of guarantee. Okay, because a woman want to return on her investment, and she didn't get that return, and it's a problem. And she said this funky dude gonna sit up there and call her a bestie. I said, well, what's wrong with that? That they're friends. She said that's not his bestie. She said that's disrespectful. See, that's why I like to have women perspective, because you know I'm like, okay, that's his bestie. You know, no, that's not his bestie. She don't want to be his bestie. That was his. She said she wanted him to acknowledge her as his woman at one point. I was your woman. I was your woman, and he couldn't even let her come to his little funky Christmas parties with the family. She had to go. She had to be on the outside. But then afterwards, he'll call her, "Hey, you want to do a freak off? No, let me hang out with your family. I'm your woman." Guys, you ever been dating somebody and a woman say, "Well, you know, a woman, let me tell you something. If you dating a woman, let me tell y'all something, especially like if you're an entertainer or a content creator, they gonna make it be known to everybody that that's your woman. I'm telling you this, they will do it. They will shit on your stuff. They will shit on your profile. They will shit on everything. And let everybody know you're not gonna keep a sister in the dark. You're not doing that. That's what y'all women stop it. See, y'all crickets now. Ain't nobody laughing no more. But y'all sit up there. I told y'all shouldn't have brought up the Tootsie Roll. Y'all shouldn't have did that to me, because I'm sitting up here trying to talk about the RICCO, but y'all brought up that Tootsie Roll 9 o'clock this morning. So now I told you we going down the box. We going down Pandora's box. Women, all women are like that. They do not want to be kept in the dark. They do not. They don't want to be kept in the dark. I'm not. No, it's already open now over Queen. Y'all already did it. Y'all talked about something. I was like, what's y'all talking about this Tootsie Roll for? I knew what y'all were talking about, but I wanted to ignore it. I said, damn, they sitting up here talking about this. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, we ain't knocking her for getting the money. That was her payment for over 11 years of trying to satisfy this man. And yeah, and guess what? Guess what she found out? That ain't nothing special, because after he left her, he had to go freak off again. He had to go find somebody else to freak off with. He just addicted to the freak off. Basically, what it is like a porn addiction, but the porn is real life for him. He got the porn right in his face in real life. That's what it is. Yeah, what the fuck are we doing, right, Ms. VS? What are we doing? The women want some guarantees. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Are we gonna be kept just seeing each other in the dark? You know, nobody know about us. You know, we just friends. Like, now, I'm gonna tell you something. I will say this though. I'm too old to have a girlfriend. Either we friends or not. I'll be like, this is my friend. That it's implied that that's my girlfriend. It's implied. I'm too old to have girlfriends, yo. I'm too old for this shit. I'm like the old folks. This is my friend. Okay, this is my friend right here. So when an older woman say that's my friend, you already know that's her boyfriend. You already know. Mr. Ed is her boyfriend. Mr. Ed that come over for breakfast. Mr. Ed that come over for breakfast. That gotta be her friend. That's a special friend. I'm old school like that. But I'm telling you, it's more aggressive out here now, because I had read somebody did a study saying it's only like 23% of men that are available of all races. 23%, that's a low percentage. That's a low percentage. And then some of them you got to X out because they ain't looking for no woman. They looking for a man. So you got to X them out. You got to minus them out. And then some of them are in jail. So then that only leaves a little bit of, so it's aggressive out here. It really is. It's aggressive. They're not trying to sit up here. You have them in the dark no more. It's not, this ain't the 80s and 90s no more. People are a lot more aggressive. They want guarantees out here now. You know, they don't want to try to play games. You don't even have to lie to women no more. You just have to give them a option. They like to know that they have an option to deal with you or not. They respect the fact that you keep it 100. But if you're sitting up here lying, a woman will quickly find you out, because women, they study your patterns. Once your pattern is off, they know. Because men, we're simple. We got patterns. We do the same shit over and over again. Okay? If every other Friday we like to go out and have a beer or something like that and come home, there's a pattern. But next thing you know, if that pattern is broken or something like that, it's always been like that. It's always been like that. So what I'm saying is that he gonna sit up here and blow this horn right here. I'm tired of these people blowing their horn out here. He blowing for somebody to come out. Why don't you call him? That's what a cell phone for. Call and let the person know you outside. But people out here, they just love to blow that funky ass car horn. It's crazy. I don't miss this about up north. I don't miss that part. The blowing the horn for no reason. It's church time. Everybody going to church. There's a church around here too, down the street. Everybody going to church. Get that church going. It is offensive in the South to blow your horn. And she telling him to move up because she don't want to get her she don't want to walk in the grass and get her shoes dirty. And he still couldn't move up further. Look, she telling him, like, look, a sister gonna get her church shoes dirty. Blowing that horn, man. You said that ninja did it. That's not what we were like really talking about, like with this presentation. We were talking about, did they meet their burden for the RICCO yet? See, I can take my feelings out of it and just go from there. But like I said, we're going to see what happens next week when Capricorn testify and other people, because it could be damaging. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what that woman going to say, because I heard he settled with her. Because I think he went upside her head because of that Cassie situation. Somebody told me that. So, allegedly. And I think he settled with her. So, you already know it ain't no love lost with her. Yes. Could you imagine her saying this? Yes. When he made me do that Molotov cocktail in Cuddy's car. I did it. Well, now we have the RICCO now. If she say that, yes, now it's racketeering. Yes. Now if she say that, if she get on that stand and say that, I'm gonna hit the floor. If she say that. Yeah, he made me but that's why you found female DNA. It was me. I burnt this car because he wanted me to. Now that's racketeering. Okay, if she comes say that, I'll walk out the courtroom. I said, Lord have mercy. I'll pull a Tisa tails. I'll just walk out the damn courtroom and go live, yo. I said, guys, you ain't believing this. You're not gonna believe this. She said that he made her do it. If she get up there and say that, you can stick a nail in the coffin. You can stick a nail. Now you can stick the nail in there. Now we just gotta wait for KK to testify. Well, yes, I did everything he wanted. Yes, I did everything he wanted. I hid the guns and everything. Oh Lord. Yo, I'd be like, man, guys, I said they have met their burden. Lord have mercy. And you know that sounds very eerie when I say that. Miss VS know that. Ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution has now met their burden. And I have only been wrong once, wrong twice. Okay? We got to put the official, they have officially met their burden. They have officially met it. You can stick a nail in the coffin, man. Because if she get up there and say all that, Lord have mercy. And what does she provide? Text messages to prove that, to further prove it. I don't know. Only thing I can say is he hoped that his one jury holdout to hang the jury. Because that could happen. But I know one thing. Women keep every text message that you send them. Every text message. Okay? And you know what else they do? They'll send it to somebody else just for evidence. So you can have the evidence. This happened to me recently. This woman I know is dealing with in this crazy relationship, and the guy is texting her all type of crazy shit, right? She sent it to me. I'm like, why are you sending me this? Just for evidence that something happened to her. And he's sitting up there crashing out when all he has to do is just walk away. That's all he has to do. You say, I ain't seen trafficking yet. You said, that's right. We do it in case dude gets a case of amnesia or something happens. It's right. And send it to me. Send it to me on Instagram. All the notes were sent to me on Instagram. And I knew why she did it. Just in case if something happened, that his ass would go away. And he doing the most in those messages. He doing the most. And guess what? She is provoking him. She is. She's talking to him like she's a dude. Guys, this thing has been reversed, guys. This thing has been reversed. That's why a woman appreciate a real man when he come along. They appreciate it, whether you got money or not. They appreciate it. I'm telling you, they do, because there's a lot of feminine acting men out here. It is. You should have seen how she was talking to him. You said, and he cheated, right? Yeah, he cheated, but you know who it is, Rachel. Don't say her name. You know who it is. And she's talking. Look, she got her bearings back. She got her bearings back, and she's sitting there talking to him like she's a dude. She said, I need you to come get your funky ass clothes and shoes out of here, because this is day 27. You have 30 days. You get your funky clothes out of here. If you don't want to do right, get your funky clothes out of here. Okay? And she said, forget playing with having to go get vouchers to go to the thrift store so you can sell shit. Why don't you get you a job? That's what she's saying to him. Why don't you put on your big boy pants and go get your ass a job? And this is how she talking to him, and he can't take it, and he's doing all type of threats. And he don't mean the threats. It's just that he's in his feelings. Lord have mercy. I'm just getting all type of tea. All type of tea. I like, damn. I showed my mother. She said no. She got her bearings back and she's checking them. I was like, yeah, but she ain't got to talk to him like that, because now he don't feel like he a man now. The way she talking to him. She said, don't matter. She said, we don't forget anything. And now with the text message, we don't delete anything. No text messages get deleted. None. So what you got to do is just walk away if you feel like you got to say something crazy. And then come back when you're not mad no more. But this Rico situation, Cassie, no, Puff kept all his text messages too. He did. Because he got stuff on Cassie, he had different petty stuff he had on her because he kept his text messages. He did. I'm surprised he did because I delete my shits. Man, we delete our text messages. We don't care because we want to clear up our phone. We don't save all those text messages from since Moses built the ark. We don't do all that. The ladies do though. Y'all keep everything, man, for real. But we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see who else is testifying because that could be damaging. Because she probably got text messages too. He's like, "Yeah, blow that MF's car up, god damn it, and do it now. Go do it now. I'm watching you. Do it." Okay, Puff. I burned this car up. You need me to do anything else? You need me to do anything else? Because I've already burned this car up. I'm talking about text messages. I already burned this car up. Okay. What else you want me to do? Then now they got one element of the enterprise. They got it. And I honestly believe that arson is gonna stick. That's one element already. I believe it's gonna stick with the jury. I'm not sure. That's just my opinion. They need one more though. But they save text messages, man. And I'm seeing it in real time. And I said to her, I said, why are you saving all these text messages? She said, because. Because. That's it. Just because. And the crazy thing is, I don't care how out of order the woman is, or when she get her bearings back, you better watch out. You better watch out. She get them bearings back, you better watch out because they have a whole community. Now all of a sudden, her friend I haven't even heard from since the Red Sea was parted. Now she in the picture now. Mother in the picture. Lord have mercy. Brother, girlfriend in the picture. Okay. And then he gonna sit up here and text me saying that she went upside somebody else went upside her. I said, no, you went upside her head. I said that to her. I said, you went upside her head, yo. And she took pictures of it. He said I said she got pictures of it, man. You went upside her head, yo. I said, you should have walked away. You should have walked away, sir. You should have walked away, but you didn't walk away. You should have walked away. You should have went to the park because the park ain't that far from the house. You should have went to the park and walked around the track. Because once you walk around the track a couple times, you ain't trying to do nothing. You ain't trying to do nothing. Truth, that's what he said in the text, like he's supposed to go out of town when it happened and want his friends to witness it. But his dog sitter witnessed it. He had a dog babysitter, Kid Cudi. That was hilarious when he said it. He had a dog babysitter. I never heard nobody call a dog sitter that, a dog babysitter. That's how bougie he is. Hitting is cowardly, but you have to walk away. You can't hit. You can't hit, man. Women, you too, women. Y'all can't be hitting either. Because y'all do it too. Yes, y'all do. Y'all the master of the dope fiend. Y'all know what a dope fiend is. Y'all know what that is? It's a sucker punch. Y'all the masters of that. I got put in a one time I got put in a full Nelson. Yep, she put me in a full Nelson and fell. We both fell forward. The only thing that saved me from breaking my neck and my face is we fell on our side. That's the only thing that saved me. And we was on the carpet. We got drunk one night, talking shit to each other. Next thing you know, I turned my back and she put me in the full Nelson. And then when we was on the ground, she put me in a sleeper hole. Put me in a sleeper hole, man. For real. She put me in it was a different kind of sleeper hole. It was like she had her hand, her arm, it's like over my armpit, and then put me in a sleeper hole. That's hard to get out of. It's very hard to get out of. Sure did. I said, what the hell? I'm in a damn full Nelson. Put me in a full Nelson, man. I told that story before. Oh, how we fell forward. She put me in the full Nelson, but I was about to get out of it, but she tripped me, and we fell forward. It was funny. It's funny now I talk about it now. I said, woman, you crazy. But then the room started getting black. I said, oh, I'm going to sleep. I said, stop. I couldn't say stop. I couldn't say nothing. I was like tapping out. And then she let me go. I said, you crazy. You are crazy. She said, I'll do it again. You better stop. I'll do it again. Put me, you know how powerful she got to be to put me in a full Nelson? Put me in a full Nelson. Not a half Nelson, a full Nelson. That's crazy. Like how, like, yo, she put me in she thought she was freaking, she thought she was the Iron Sheik, man. She acting like the Iron Sheik because she like wrestling too. Like we grew up, we're the same age. We grew up watching WW. We call it WWF back in the day. Put me in a full Nelson, man. I taught her some moves. I taught her a choke move, and she put me in it. It's a choke move I taught her. Yeah, we sitting up there drinking that yak. That's what happened when you drink that yak. That's what happened when you drink that yak. Just sitting up there drinking yak. Because I took her keys from her. I said, you are not driving. Because she said she want to go to the store. It's like 2:00 in the morning. I said, you drunk. You're not driving nowhere. So I snatched her keys. I said, you ain't going nowhere. You need to sit down. So I turned my back. Next thing you know, boom, full Nelson. And she like had her hands locked behind my neck. It was locked. And I was getting out of it, but then she tripped me. Boom, we both fell down. I was like, that was crazy. This girl got me in a full Nelson. And then got me in a sleeper hole. I said, you sat up here and put me in a sleeper hole. And we laughed about the other. She said, what the fuck? Why we do that? I said, we sitting there talking shit to each other. So that's what happened. You said the feds be pretending they females on streams. No, she not the Cobra Clutch. It was a sleeper hole. It was a different type of, I taught her this sleeper hole. It's when you wrap your hand, it's when you get your arm around the person's armpits and then come down with the sleeper hole and then you put your leg on their stomach. That's what she did. So I couldn't get out of it. I taught her self-defense techniques just in case somebody wanted to harm her. And I taught her how to crack somebody's ankles too. I taught her that just in case. Like if you on a train or something and you need to get out of harm's way. I said you always wear sneakers and if somebody, you can crack their ankles because people are not knowing that you're thinking that. and then you can get out of harm's way. I taught her all that stuff. My dad taught me that shit. But as far as this case, yeah, we can't go on conspiracies because we weren't there. So we only have to go on the evidence. That's it. That's all we can. That's all we have. You know, nobody is excusing the fact, and he's not. His lawyers already said it. Yes, we submit to the abuse. Yes, he did. He's guilty of it. He so most certainly is. But he's not guilty of this racketeering. That's what they said. So, and I remember she told me, she's like, "You taught me a little too well, huh?" I said, I damn sure did. I remember one time I was teaching her the chokehold. When you get somebody in the it's called the guillotine. I taught her the guillotine. Boy, I fell out when she put me in it because I told her to do it to see if it worked, and I fell out. I blacked out for a minute. She put me in a guillotine, and I said, if you ever, this person about it, okay. I said, if you ever in a situation where somebody trying to argue, you could put them in there's certain things you could do, or you could snatch it. I'm not even gonna get graphic what the snatch is, but you could snatch it. And it's certain things, right? But you got to teach people that, because just so they can have some. And I told her, if you got a pen, an ink pen on you, or any kind of keys, I say, oh yeah, now you can get busy. Especially if you got an ink pen or keys, you can get busy with it. So different things you got to teach, because it's crazy out here, and you got a lot of predators walking around. So you got to be crazy. You got to be ready. And I told her, just like I remember Gene saying it, you could tell if somebody following you. You either run 3 lights, you either run a light. He said run 3 lights, but if you run a light and they run it with you, you're getting followed. Or you make 3 rights, you're getting followed. And you got to go to your nearest police precinct. You got to GPS it there. There's certain things you need to know. But I just don't agree with people putting their hands on people. That's something that means that you have lost control if you have to do something like that. So obviously he's guilty of that. He shouldn't have done it. And it's been a pattern over the years of doing that. It's really a bad situation there. Like, because he could pretty much lose everything he worked hard for. Because if he lose this, they talking about confiscating his assets, seizing his assets. So it's kind of not good. But it's a case where we can all learn from, as far as the federal, like how the federal go about their business, the feds go about their business in the defense. It's a lot to learn here. No, we didn't fight. I taught her self-defense. Because she always used to be worried, because, my ex, she had a stalker. And we also went to Green Top and got her a gun. We sure did. I got it on her birthday. I got one for her on her birthday. She still has it to this day. And I said, because when I was dating, she still had the stalker. She still had him. And I told her we went and got it concealed. She went and got her concealed. And she don't have the stalker no more. I think he moved out of town or something, or whatever the case is. But yeah, she had a legit stalker, man. Legit. She had to go get a restraining order and everything. It was a kind of crazy situation. So we got in the conversation of self-defense. I said, do you know self-defense at all? And she was like, no. And I started teaching her. We went to the park one day and I was teaching her certain things. And she had to put me in a guillotine. I said, you have to just show you that it works. And she put me in it, and it worked, actually. And I told her it only take a few pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. So don't think that you can't do it. If you have the opportunity, do it. Especially because the idea is to get home to your family. That's the goal. And I said the restraining order can't help you from a stalker because he still was stalking. It didn't matter she had a restraining order. And this how she got the stalker, because she lived in this building years ago, and he was a neighbor, and he never talked to her. When she show up at work, he's around. His car was around. She show up at the grocery store, he's around. I said, yeah, she got a stalker. They went to court and everything. It was just a crazy situation. So women, you gotta be extra careful out here. If you know a little bit of grappling, and that stuff might save your life if you know a little bit of grappling. Because a lot of these people, when I'm looking at with the Rex Heuermann case, which I'm gonna follow out of New York, he's a suspected serial killer. They locked him up. I'm gonna follow that trial next when it happens. He overpowered them. But there's certain pressure points that you have to know. You have to know where the pressure points are in a man's neck. You have to know where those pressure points are. And because that could save your life. So that's what we were talking about. I learned that from my dad. My dad was he no longer with us, but he was a military guy. He used to teach me all that stuff. He taught my mother that too. My mother knows it. My mother knows it. And you just have to know something. It may or may not save your life, but at least you know it. And then we had to go get her a firearm. We sure did. I bought it for her birthday. I said, because I'm not always going to be around, and you're in the house, because she had a house. She lived in a big house by herself. I'm like, you got to have something in here for sure. But he used to show up at her house. Sure did. But I guess he moved. It just stopped. He moved or something. We heard that he moved out of state. And he had got into some trouble too. I believe he might be incarcerated, but I think he out of state. So you just need to know these things. Just like I was looking at that video with Cassie in the hotel room, there was something she could have did because he was vulnerable, because he only had a towel on. She could have used the passive technique. She could have submitted and got on her knees and clutched on his jewels. She could have clutched them and yanked. You clutch, twist, and yank, and that'll subdue him. But she has not been taught that. And also, what I'm saying, is certain things else she could have done to him. Certain other things, but she wasn't taught it. But yeah, man, you have to be vigilant out here, especially you relate. Some things can happen. Some men lay hands on you, and I don't agree with it. You have to walk away. And if you feel like you have a temper and stuff, you just don't need to be in a relationship. For sure. You don't need to be in one. It's just unfortunate, but you got to understand, we're going through 11 years of activity here. And we don't know what his former assistants, his right hands, are going to say now. So that's what everybody is waiting on Tuesday. This could be damaging, for sure. And we don't know if she got text messages. It's really a crazy situation just watching this. It's a lot to learn, though. I learned a lot already. You in the bushes listening? Why are you in the bushes? What you must be doing something. You driving? Yeah, because a lot of people think when it comes to self-defense, it's all that glorified hand movement like they show you. Whoa, that karate shit. That's not self-defense. Self-defense is subduing the person and getting out of harm's way. So you can run and get out of harm's way. That's what it's for. It's not all that like crane technique and all this and walk in the circle. That's not going to get you home to your family. Doing karate moves. Self-defense is what's going to get you home. That's what's going to get you home. It's going to, if you got some kind of pen in your hand, you passive. Okay, you got that. Boom, right in the neck. Right in the neck. He ain't going to know it. Or in the eyeballs or somewhere or the throat. That gets you home to your family or get you to call the police. Stuff like that. Self-defense. That's self-defense. Or you can use your head too. When you headbutt, you either go for the nose or the mouth or the chin. That's where you headbutt at. You go for that nose or the mouth or that chin area. It only takes a certain amount of pressure to lay somebody out. I don't care how big they are. It throws their equilibrium off so you can go run. Because your idea is to run, to get out of harm's way. Especially on the train, all native people know this that's from the tri-state area. If you're on the train, if you're getting on that train and that train don't have nobody on it, you get on a train car that got people on it. You never sit on a train car alone. Everybody knows this. Only out-of-towners don't know it. If you see a train and ain't nobody on it, it's just one person, you go to one that has a lot of people on it. Okay? You don't do that. You do not. You do certain things, and you don't stand near that platform either. You never stand near the platform. And you always want to have your back against the wall or something. You don't want to have your back turned to nobody. All native New Yorkers and people in New Jersey know that. You definitely don't. And you don't make eye contact with somebody that's crazy. You side eye them. Because New York, people side eye you. You don't know they're looking at you, but they're looking at you. You side eye them. You don't look at them directly. It's just certain things you need to know to survive out here. Certain things Yeah, it's just certain things, man. You don't have I don't like when I see people having their headphones on when they walking in the city. You're not supposed to have your headphones on. You need to have your ears, because your ears is a line of defense. So you know to run, because you might have to run, So it's just certain things. Like I saw that situation where the man got attacked in the subway here recently. And there was one thing he could have did to that crazy guy. He could have did the snatch, twist, and grab technique. He would have been over with. Then at that point, you could do him dirty when he's on the ground screaming. And when a person's on the ground, because they could recover, you just stomp on their ankles. So now they can't run. You got to subdue them or stop on their hands or something. So that way you can run and get out of harm's way. Now they're subdued now. Now you can get out of harm's way. Now, brass knuckles is not recommended. I'm going to tell you why. Brass knuckles, you can't have them in California. You will go to jail for this. So I don't recommend brass knuckles, because in certain states you cannot have them. It's considered it's a weapon. You can't have them, and you can get in a lot of trouble for that. In the city of New York, like the state of New York, it's very hard to, like with self-defense. You really have to prove that you were trying to get away from this person. You really have to, because if you harm them too, they could actually come after you. So you have to. Women, you can easily get away with it, but men, it's a certain thing with men. You have to really prove that this person is trying to do you harm. If they just talking crap to you, you just simply walk away. That's the goal. You don't sit up there and strike first. You have to walk away. So there's certain things, like I teach younger people too. There's certain things you need to know, especially walk in the city and stuff, because you got a lot of predators out here and you have to be careful. You really do have to be careful out here. Yeah, you got to be careful. But for the most part, people in New York, they're very aware. People in the city are very aware. They side eye you. They know that you're there, but you don't know they're looking at you. They're very aware. So everybody should know that in the city, especially if you grew up in the city. You see crazy people on the train, subway all the time, but you just don't give them eye contact. You let them talk, stuff like that. But as far as this situation is concerned, I believe it really just got out of hand, man, with the violence. It did. It most certainly did. That's like an understatement that it got out of hand. It really got out of hand. It's unusual, but it's not out of. It's unusual, but it's not out of the ordinary. Really, it's just. I honestly think he's probably looking at it now with a clear mind because he's not on anything. So he's actually listening to this with a clear mind. And I know he's thinking I should have did this a lot differently. I don't think he's on anything now. He's been in there for quite a number of months now. Yeah, he's been off of that stuff for quite some time now, you know? So it's over with as far as that is concerned. But I don't know what he's going to do if he ever see freedom again. But right now, he has to be thinking a full acquittal to get out and not get any time. That's his goal, a full acquittal. Some people, some legal experts seem to think he's going to be found guilty on something. So I don't know how much time it's gonna hold, you know. So yeah, Cassie is still taking Suboxone. It came out in court that she's taking Suboxone, and they have that in prisons too. For people that's withdrawn, they have different medications you could take. But I tell people, like, how does he look? Like, for me, he looks normal to me. It's just that his hair is white. But some people seem to think that he looks sickly, but I don't see that. He looks like how he normally looks, just his hair is white. And everything is by design too. The way he's dressed and everything, the sweaters he wear, it's all by design. But his lawyer, Tenny Garagos, came out and said, she said all this stuff that was being said about him in the media simply isn't true. She said they were saying that he had all types of, it was tapes out there of him and Justin Bieber, and she said none of that was collected. None of that was part of evidence. She said the drugs and the baby oil. She said none of that was the case. It was just he liked baby oil. She said in her opening, she said he had a love for baby oil. She said this. Everybody started laughing. She said, "Is it a crime for him to have a love for baby oil?" No, it's not a crime. She said a love for baby oil. But you gotta understand, they have been taking those pills for over a decade. So you just can't quit cold turkey. You got to go through treatment. That's for everybody. You got to go through some kind of treatment. Yeah, man, it's a lifelong thing, man. But she seems to be doing very well. You know, she has a family now, and she has a supportive husband. That helps. He knows her whole past. He knows it, but she's redefined herself. That's not her anymore. That's her past life. He knows her heart, you know, and he seems very supportive. So that helps too, to have a supportive spouse. And yeah, as I heard when he was sitting in that courtroom, he was eyeing Diddy down and the family, and I heard the family was eyeing him back. They were eyeing him back. That's a pass, Rachel. It's the pass. You know, that is the pass. You know, I think so, Beth. It seemed like it. There's a lot of accusations on him that, he's never came out and talked about. Like, people are claiming that he might have had something to do with Biggie. He's never addressed it. No, I think he did find out about it. Just the fact it came out, he did find out eventually. He found out, but he understands the situation though. The situation is very complex. They had a very complex, crazy relationship for over 10 years, 11 years. So that's her husband. They talk. There's certain things that he knows, but he's very supportive. Like, that's not her anymore. That's why I tell people it's not her anymore. You know, I like when I don't want to know a woman's past when I'm dating. I don't need to know all that. We're together now. Like, how about right now? I like to live in the present. Like, what about right now? I don't want to know about all the relationships you've been with. And ladies, let me tell you all this real quick. This is a secret that men ain't gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you. If you ever out with a man, like at an event, and some random men come up and hug you, we automatically say that's out of pocket. That's out of pocket for us. Automatically. We're not gonna tell you. We're not gonna tell you. We're not gonna tell you, but it probably will come up in an argument. But we're not going to tell you right then and there, because men, we have a problem with communication. We're not going to tell you, but that is out of pocket. If somebody come up to you and they get a hug and a kiss, that's out of pocket. If I don't care if the man is like your bestie, because you ain't no woman got no bestie. Bullshit. We don't see it that way. I'm just telling you this, ladies, because there's a video going around where this dude was like trying to like hug up on Cassie, and Diddy saw it and his face changed. Like, yeah, we don't like that. Like if you out, you're like, oh, I know him. That's my boy. I know him, and he get a hug and a kiss. I'm talking about a close hug and a kiss. I'm not talking about a mwah mwah. Not that. A close hug and a kiss. Okay. We're going to remember it for life. I'm just telling you this. Men don't forget nothing either. So please don't do it. It ain't nothing about being, how y'all would come back and gaslight us and say, oh, you just being insecure. Nuh-uh. Don't say that. Don't say we're being insecure and we're with you now. Don't say that. If we're out at an event, if we out in the event, okay, and a guy, hey girl, what's up? And he come hug you and give you a kiss and hug you, that's out of pocket. That is grounds for us to fire you. That's grounds. That is a major, major red flag. Okay? Do not do it. Do not do it. See, men ain't gonna tell you this, but don't do it. And here's another thing that you don't want to do. And a lot of women do this. Oh, I don't have a lot of female. I have all male friends. And if you can't accept my male friends, guess what? You have now been placed in another bag. We place you in categories. We have now placed you in another category. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. It ain't nothing about being self-conscious. Because no man want to be in a room knowing that other men don't been with her. No man don't want to know that. That's why I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's why Kanye that's why he almost lost his fucking mind. Because he couldn't take it. There's certain things, I'm just telling you, certain things we think is out of pocket. And ain't no man in here saying I'm wrong yet. Not one. Okay? And another thing y'all don't do to us is say, well, my such and such, he never acted like that. Do not compare us to another man you dated. Because now you open up Pandora's box And I'm telling you, men are not that very. I'm a see. I communicate. Not every man can communicate. Not every man can. Okay, he's gonna put you in another box, and now you are opening yourself up to get cheated on. I'm just telling you guys this. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I know this. I know. See, I know it's wrong. But I'm just telling you guys this. You automatically be put in another bag now. Because you sometimes you wonder like what's going on? Why my relationship fucked up? What happened? I'm telling you, don't do it. Now that we got it all together, now that we got it all together now, I don't want y'all to hear y'all say, oh Max, that don't sound right, Max. That don't sound right, Max. Okay. Max, that don't sound right. Okay. I don't want to hear what y'all saying. Max, that don't sound right. Max, that don't sound right. It don't sound right. I know, but I'm telling you how men think. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you how men think. We won't say nothing outwardly to you. We just put you in another bag. You said, Max, how do you handle women flirting with you in public if you with your woman? If I'm with my woman, I'm with my woman. And look, the shoe go on the other foot. I know. See, I'm waiting for you women to say, Max, what about the men? See, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. If I'm out with my woman and a woman flirt with me, I have to be with my woman. That's it. That's it. I'm with my woman. Okay. When I'm with my woman, there's no more liking Instagram posts no more. There's no more of that. No more liking Instagram posts. No, none of that. Because see, the reason why I say that is because that's why people have trouble. You have to be you have to find your woman sexy. You find your woman sexy. Ain't no need for me to look at no more Instagram thoughts. Ain't no need for it no more. So that what I just said also applies to the man too. A woman will do the same thing. Like if you out here flirting, she gonna keep a note of it. She gonna keep a mental note. She gonna keep a mental note. So yes, you can't be out of pocket either. You just can't. That's the problem that's hurting a lot of relationships is social media. Okay? You can't be liking these Instagram booty model pictures because the woman's gonna find out. Because I'm gonna tell you how they do it. A woman has a burner account. Okay, and she gonna follow you on that burner account and she gonna start to see you liking all these photos. Okay, she gonna have a problem with it. So men don't do it. Don't do it. See, my Instagram looks trifling. It does. The people I follow looks all the way trifling. However, okay, I'm single. I'm single. But I know you're like, damn, Max, look who you follow. It's trifling. It don't matter, it's trifling, but I'm single. Now, if I'm with somebody, I don't have to look at the Instagram models. I have my woman to look at. Yeah, people do get burner accounts because they do have burner accounts. Yes, women do. They have burner accounts. Okay, they'll get a burner account and watch your activity. Okay, they'll see, damn, he just followed this person. Boom, he just followed this person. They will watch. So you no longer have to watch the internet thoughts no more because it hurts the relationship anyway. That's why social media is hurting relationships. You just get off social media and be with your woman. That's it. Okay. My niece said it like, man, Unc, your Instagram is trifling. I was like, no, I follow people because hopefully they follow me back so I can get my followers. She said, that's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. Your following who you're following is trifling. She said, you need another account. She said, you need another account because this is not right. You need another account. A young woman said this to me. So they all, and look, don't think my nieces don't follow their men's accounts because they do. They do follow their accounts. Because it came up one time. She said, he following this girl. He following this girl here. He following her on Facebook. They be watching. They certainly do. So if the shoe fits for us, it fits for the woman too. Yeah, Rachel may have said that. Like, I don't know why, but see, here's the thing. When we look at it as if we following somebody, it's not a big deal. But then people say, damn, look at all the accounts you follow. It don't look good. Like, I just like looking at pictures like, okay, boom, I like the picture. Okay, cool. I'm a heterosexual male. You see what I'm saying? But I'm single. Now, sometime they may come with an ultimatum. You need to unfollow this person. Well, goddamn, I need to create a whole new account then. If I got to unfollow all these, but I don't know how to unfollow thousands of people. I had to come up with another account. I got to come up with another account. I got to come up with another one. But that could be an issue. So if it's an issue, you got to correct it. If it's an issue, because if she thinks it's an issue, you got to correct it. And also, you got to correct that. It's just the crazy thing about social media. So it ain't about being super jealous. It's just that if you're sitting up here continuing to like accounts, she gonna be like, what the fuck? You just like this person, you still liking these booty models. That's a problem. They don't want to compete with these booty models. And actually it's a facade because it's not real. It's not real. You're never going to meet these people. So it's not real. So you might as well don't give your attention to them when you get somebody. When you get in a relationship, you might as well cut the attention off because it's not real anyway. So it's not real. Just entertainment. You're never going to meet these people. Never going to meet these people. Ladies, your Instagrams could be trifling too. Now, you guys might not be following a lot of people, but your inbox is trifling. Ashe. I said your inboxes be trifling. Ashe. I said your inboxes be trifling. Ashe. You said it's probably too late, and said he was doing was doing therapy because he was exposed. Well, I believe he was going through some type of therapy, or trying to get some help, but it takes time though, because he has to change his mind has to change. I believed him when he said he was in a deep, dark place. I believed him when he said that. But it takes a little bit more than that. It takes a while to actually change. To change a behavior, it takes a while. But I do believe him when he said that, because the video looked terrible, and he knows it. He's not a stupid person. Puff is not stupid. He didn't get to where he was. Hold up, I gotta take this off because it's hold on. I had to change my mic because it's running out. He didn't get to where he was for being stupid. He definitely is not a stupid person. He didn't reach the heights of this business empire for being stupid. Puff was he was doing parties when he was at Howard, and he was very successful doing it. So he's always had a level of success, even when he was in college for those couple years at Howard before he went up to Uptown Records, right? He's already had a level of success throwing parties. Yeah, so he got to change a whole lot. So it takes a while, though. But yeah, that's what we're seeing on display. Just a whole 10 years of just craziness. He said, so in spite of the assistance and the bodyguard's participation, that doesn't satisfy the Ricky. No, not the Ricky. I like how you said that. And you meant to say it like that too, the Ricky. I like that. Well, I want to say this, Unicorn Savages. It may have. I have to give you this disclaimer again. I'm not the jury. I'm not the jury. My opinion doesn't matter. But we're just doing it for the sake of conversation. But for you, he may have satisfied it already, which I can't argue with you on it. But that's where the debate comes in, and that's why we like to debate. That's why I'm glad you said that, because we like to debate, and I'm glad you said that. So I think it's problematic, Unicorn Savages, for the arson part. The arson part is very problematic. But that's what the judge said. She said that they haven't met the guidelines of the RICCO yet. But then another attorney said this is not this is an unusual RICCO that they're doing. That's why everybody quiet, Native T. You say everybody else guilty of the same thing, but everybody quiet. It's crickets right now. You don't hear from nobody that was at all them parties he used to throw. You remember those Black Excellence parties? They toasted Black Excellence and Brotherhood. I don't see nobody around, do you? Where the Brotherhood at? And I'm not talking about Stevie J, because he don't count, because he's been supporting them. Besides Stevie J and Kanye, where is everybody else? And 88 Keys, because 88 Keys has been there. He came to court to support him. I didn't even know it was him at first until somebody told me. Where are the other people? And I must say, I have to put myself in them shoes. I would be quiet too, man. Nah, ain't nobody coming to say that, Rachel. Ain't nobody saying that. And then Kanye might not count, because I think he might be trolling. So it's hard to take him serious. But he did call Puff and support him. And of course, it might not even be that long, Rachel. Everybody keep bringing him up. But Stevie J supporting him. So leave them two out of it, because I'm talking about everybody else. You said they all dated underage. It's been going on in Hollywood since Jerry Lee Lewis, man. Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin. Elvis. Well, he waited until she got of age to marry her, though. But still, it's still kind of trifling. Everybody got their opinions on here, Vita. Everybody on here is not going to agree because of the nature of the case. You got to understand, Vita, that this case is very triggering. So we're going to have people with strong opinions. We need that, because we need a balance in here. We need, and then some people, they're not afraid to debate in here too, which we don't mind a debate. But I can't debate on this though. What am I to debate on? Because then I'm going to look like an asshole. I can't look. This is a situation where I can't even debate with y'all on this. I just had to give you a head nod. Okay, that's how you feel? Okay. Because somebody hit me up on Instagram. Max, you condoning this? No, I'm not condoning it. I mean, everybody know what he did was wrong. Yeah, but he guilty though. That's what somebody's saying. He guilty anyway. I'm like, all right, that's how you feel. She said, yeah, but how you feel? I'm like, yeah, I'm going with what you said. He guilty anyway. What am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna sit here and debate you on it without yeah. I'm just gonna say that as a disclaimer. I don't debate what she went through now. It's obvious, and even his lawyers don't debate it. So I tell you one thing though, we going into week 3 of testimony. That's what we do know. And Miss Capricorn, yeah, that's all I think I can say. Yeah. Well, Epstein, he didn't even have an opportunity. He did go through one trial, and he got slapped. He got a slap on the wrist. They just slapped. They just gave him a little petty sentence, just a little something petty. But he didn't make it to the big one. He didn't make it. I don't know what she gonna say, Vita. She might say something more than that. What does she sit up there and say? Yeah, I put that in his car. What does she say that, man? Now they got the RICCO now. I don't know. That's why everybody gonna be like, oh, that courtroom is gonna be packed Tuesday. I'm telling y'all that. It's gonna be packed. I don't know how R. Kelly beat that first trial. I don't know, because he was on video. He had to have help from the higher ups to beat that first one. And he gonna say it wasn't him. Well, I heard that he settled with her on Truth Over Emotions. That's what people are telling me. He had settled with her because allegedly they had a fight. Allegedly they had a fight, and she settled with Capricorn. I don't know the details of that though. It wasn't right for him to put his hands on her either if he did, because they said that the story is she may have known about Kid Cudi relationship with Cassie, and he felt like she didn't tell him, so that's why they got into it. But I don't know. Sorry about that. I tried to fix the black screen for what's his name, but it's not working. The black screen is not working. I don't know. Can y'all hear me or there's no sound? Hold on. All right, there should be sound now. It should be back. But I'm gonna get off in a second. But do y'all hear sound now? I'm definitely gonna get off in a second. But yeah, I knew why it wasn't sound, but yeah, it was a reason why I knew why it wasn't sound. I just couldn't do the hookup that I have. It's definitely a case where this is a huge case, man. It really is. It turned out to be everything they said it was gonna be. There's people from all over the world outside, as far as the media is concerned, covering this case. Telemundo is out there. I know Celebrity Scandalous. We were talking to that guy from Telemundo. You took a picture with him. I mean, you took a picture of him. Telemundo was out there. There's so many people out there covering this case every day. Yeah, it is a historic case. Yeah, the people in Brazil was in court. They were sitting there listening, vlogging on it. They got their YouTube channels from Brazil. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of interest in this case for real because of who he is. The screen is lively blank black. I know. It's great. I know it's black. I know I can't get it back. I don't know why it's doing that. My camera stopped working. It's crazy. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of interest in this case all over the world. People from Australia is there. I did an interview with a French network, and I believe I'm on their YouTube channel. I believe I'm on their YouTube channel now. I just have to go check. Yeah, I did something with the French press, the French AP. Yeah, I did an interview, y'all, with the French AP, man. She was like, "What's your YouTube channel?" I told her on the video. Yeah, I did an interview with the French AP, man. There was somebody else that wanted to talk to me. I didn't talk to them yet. They came up to me Friday, said they want to do something Tuesday. But yeah, it's definitely I mean, Nancy Grace has been vlogging on it. Nancy Grace is something though. I see her correspondent every day, that she talked to, the lady that she talked to give her updates. I see her in the courtroom every day. Yeah, every day I see her, and I see the people from the Law and Crime Network. Um, CNN, I saw the lady from Court TV. But she got in the main courtroom now. She's back in there. Hot 97, The Breakfast Club. TMZ, of course TMZ people are there. Everybody is there. And all the vloggers. Your YouTubers are there. Tisa Tells is there. She said she flew home. She said Diddy is not gonna let her make her lose her boyfriend, lose her man, she said. So she had to fly back home real quick. But yeah, it's definitely crazy situation. If it goes left, will he take a deal? That's an option, but it's up to the judge's discretion though. If he want to just say, let's end this and let me take this deal that they gave him. I read about that. They said it's unusual, but it's up to the judge. The judge will have to decide on that. Meaning, let's end the trial. Let me just go ahead and take this deal. I don't think he's going to do that, Rachel. I think he's going all the way to the deliberations. His assistant, old assistant, Rachel Capricorn Clark, and a few others. They named some other people. I just didn't hear it. But I think she's going to be on the stand for the. I'm thinking the majority of the day. That's what I'm thinking. And then we also have this a Jane Doe that's supposed to testify. We don't know her name. Roger Bond's name has come up a lot. Christina Coram name has come up a lot. That's his former right hand. Just imagine what she got to say. It's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely going to be something to see. But guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back later and see what they're talking about. The legal people talking about. Every Nancy Grace just put up something. I saw a Gene Deal interview. He was talking about being at the courtroom and stuff like that. He did say something that I don't remember. Gene said that, okay, so you guys know when they were talking to the assistant, right? You know, the government talks to him first, and then there's a cross-examination. So his defense did cross, and then the government came back and talked to him again. But then they said that the defense want to say one more thing, but Puff told them no. I didn't see that. I didn't see Puff tell them no. And he said the jury saw that. I didn't see that. Okay, so you know when the government called their witness, right? So they questioned their witness. So you know the defense can cross-examine, right? So the defense did cross-examine. No, this was with Kid Cudi. He said with Kid Cudi, you know that the government did their questioning, the defense cross-examined, and then the government came back and questioned him again in the rebuttal. But he said when the defense tried to go one last time, he said Diddy told him no. I didn't see that. I didn't see where he told them no. I just heard that they said they're done questioning him. But he said the jury saw that, but I don't know what he's talking about there. I didn't see that. Or maybe I missed it. So I don't know. He did say that on his interview when he was talking about being there. I didn't see that. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining. All right, y'all. Yeah, no testimony until Tuesday. They're off tomorrow because of the holiday. All right, y'all.